Who's Here Now. I'm Jesse Steele, and we're here at the Lone Pine Film Festival with Robert Redfeather. Robert, thanks for being on the show.
You bet. Got the Bennett. It's good to be here.
Yeah, for sure. Have you been before?
No, first time.
Oh, even to Lone Pine? Not
yes,
at the festival?
First time.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Nice. So, and Robert, you're an Apache.
I am. I'm Apache Muscadero, but I am a enrolled member of the Cherokee tribe out of New Mexico.
Out of New Mexico. And
yes.
Is that where you live, New Mexico?
No, I live in Orange County.
Oh, okay, cool.
My parents are from New Mexico.
Great. Do you act and stunt and all that stuff too, like these other guys? Or?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in SAG.
Oh, cool. Oh, SAG. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Cool SAG. Cool. So the last guy we were speaking to, which was Rob John Price, mentioned that you teach Apache knife fighting.
I do.
And stuff. So tell me about that. That's really interesting.
Sure. Well, where do I start?
Well, where did you learn in the first place?
Okay, I learned from my grandparents.
Okay.
And my grandfather taught me, and then my grandmother taught me. And the story goes was, I went to a party with a friend of mine, and she got into it with her ex-boyfriend. I'll make it kind of short.
Yeah.
He gave me a shove, and I went to kick him, and he stabbed my foot.
Okay.
That happened so fast.
Yeah.
And he said, and I didn't want to fight after that anymore.
Right.
So I went home, went to the hospital, got a couple stitches, went home. My grandfather came home and he started laughing at me. He goes, "What happened to you?" And I said, "Well, I got stabbed." And he goes, "Why?" I said, "Well, the guy said he was a Crow," and I said, "It was an Apache." And he started laughing. He goes, "No, he was telling me he was from Crow Village." And I started laughing, like, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "It's about time you learn our tradition."
Yeah.
So he took me in the backyard.
Yeah.
He got a tree branch, he broke it in half. And he said, "Attack me." I looked at him and went, "You're kidding me."
Yeah.
I can't. No. He hit me on the head, he hit me on the hands. So he got me mad enough, and sure enough, I attacked him, and I was black and blue. And I go, "What is this?" He goes, "It's Apache knife fighting."
Yeah.
And I go, "Never heard such a thing." But it was so interesting because I was in martial arts. I've been in martial arts since I was 5 years old.
Okay.
And I never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
So I wanted him to teach me. And he did. And one day he was gone for a week to do cement work. And my grandmother was in the backyard hanging up clothes with a clothespin.
Yeah.
And she had an apron with a big giant spoon and she had a knife on her. And I was hitting the war post. And she goes, "You're doing it wrong." I looked at her and go,
"What do you know?"
Yeah. She goes, "No, you're doing it wrong." I said, "Oh, no." And then she came over to me and started whacking me. And I go, "Whoa." She goes, "Who do you think taught your grandfather?" And I went, "I'll be darned." And she taught my grandfather because during World War II, he was going off to war. And she wanted to make sure he came back.
Yeah.
So that was the reason why she taught him.
Yeah.
So when she went in the house, I chased her in the kitchen. I asked her, "You got to tell me more."
Yeah.
She goes, "Most of the secrets always lie with the women, not the men."
Interesting.
The reason for that is because Apache people, if they die in battle, they got to leave something behind to teach the young or the next generation.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So when the men are captured, there's nobody to teach the young.
Yeah.
And everybody who wants something, they always ask the men, but they never ask the women.
Right.
So a lot of secrets.
That's smart.
Yes. I always tell people, if you want to know something, ask the ladies.
Yeah, I think that's true in all cultures.
That's very true. But the word this is true. But the word Apache means the enemy. It's a Zulu word for enemy or fighting men or people. So Apache knife is the enemy of the knife in combat.
Okay.
So it's to understand the enemy's knife during combat.
Okay.
That's the whole meaning.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. So you've been teaching since then?
I have. I learned when I was about 13.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it ever since, but I never taught anybody until after 9/11.
Oh, okay.
I had some Marines keep bugging me to teach them, and finally I did, and then from there I became a contractor and started teaching Marines and Special Forces and law enforcement.
Yeah. Well, Apaches are known as the greatest knife fighters in the world. I mean, I've seen many documentaries and stuff on that. So that's as soon as they were talking about that you did that, I was like, I want to talk to him.
This is true. This is very true.
Really interesting.
But I think the reason why the military loved the way I teach, because I don't teach them theory. I teach them the things I actually have done.
Okay.
And then they get surprised when they see cuts on it. Well, if you play with knives, you're going to get cut.
Yeah. That's kind of how it goes.
But people always ask when I would do a knife fight. I said I would run.
Yeah.
Why would I want to stick around with the knives that big?
Yeah.
You would run.
Yeah, you don't need to be
No,
on that.
I don't need to be there.
Yeah, defense.
Yeah, definitely. So I get a lot of calls sometimes from the movie companies for advice. Most of it's free.
Yeah,
You know, as a
Unfortunately.
voicer, you know, but I try to get into that. It's just going to take some time.
Yeah.
Because right now in film, it's mostly Filipino knife fighting,
Oh, okay.
but not really too much about native fighting
Okay.
yet.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get that into everybody.
Get that a little in there.
Mhm.
That's cool. That's really interesting stuff. I'm glad you're keeping that tradition alive. That's great.
Thanks. Yeah, I also belong to the Martial Art History Museum out of Pasadena.
Okay.
Into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Yeah, for Apache knife.
Oh,
to
cool.
keep the history alive.
Yeah, I have a really good friend that's a sensei of mine, William Christopher Ford,
Okay.
and he's also William's
Yeah.
great, and so we did a couple of movies together and stunts and things, and so anyway, we've been buddies from then, and I live up here unfortunately, so I can't, I do Zoom with him once in a while.
You live far.
Yeah, it sucks.
This is far.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's a cool spot. This place is great, but there's a long history of stunt work up here. I mean, clearly westerns because we're in the Western Film Museum, but there's a lot of other stuff here too.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's really interesting. The Paiute and the Timbisha Shoshone, there are such a huge culture that we live in, and part of everything. It's been part of my life since I was born. Grass dancing and that kind of stuff.
I actually have a book on Amazon.
Oh,
it's
cool.
called Fight Like the Wind, Apache Knife.
Okay.
On Amazon.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's my first book. Working on my second. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Are you just going through techniques and stuff with it, or like the history of it?
Techniques and mostly history.
Okay.
I like the history part of it. I just don't want it to be a regular self-defense book.
Yeah.
So it has some personal stories in the book and then history on the book.
I think that's what makes it interesting and ties it to the point of a martial art is that it comes from your heart. You know what I mean? And so that ties it into that because you know where that came from. It's not just do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I had to be very careful how I did the book though, because I couldn't have my own people upset with me.
Yes.
And I couldn't have the knife world upset with me.
Yeah.
Then I rather can't make nobody happy.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't, but I kept a lot of stuff still secret there in Indian ceremonies, what I wrote in the book.
Yeah.
So I left some stuff out.
Yeah, that's good. And a part of that is ceremony is important.
Yeah.
Like I participated in my first cry dance when I was about 20 or so with a really close friend of mine passed away. And he was a Paiute kid. And I never experienced anything like that in my life. And so they brought me in and I was just like, okay. And it was like, oh my God, like you drop it all. The next day you're like, okay, grief is gone. I'm good. This is nuts.
Yeah.
Where you go to like a white person funeral and it's just like, whoa, and then you're, for the rest of your life, you're grief stricken.
That's very true. I think the Native community was concerned about how people look at us.
Yes.
And we're trying to change that image.
Yeah.
So in the book, I always put we are living people.
Yeah.
And we're only forced to fight to save our land and our family.
Yeah, if you have to.
Like anybody. So, but you know how the movies are.
Yeah. I love the newer westerns where it kind of gives more of an equal footing for the natives. Where, it's a hardcore fight, but you can see, I don't think it's ever really got there yet to the truth of the matter, but at least it's not so much that they're the bad guys and we're the good guys. Yeah. It's more of a, that's their side, this is our side, and it could be talked about. This could be done correct.
I think they're both guilty.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Everybody is. If you're in a fight, you're wrong. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
Robert, it's been a blessing talking to you.
Thank you. It was great meeting you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
You betcha.
All right. Thank you.
Good.